long-awaited conversation from India to Canada. Thank you for making some time for me. And welcome to our podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm super excited for our conversation because our previous one was like amazing and we were falling short of time. So I'm looking forward for this.
My agenda with today's call is to continue to explore the changing landscape of education, right? We are driving innovation from a B2C parent homeschooling advocacy perspective. And thankfully that industry and that category, or I don't
Yeah.
even know if it's the movement is really
Right.
picking
Yeah.
up momentum and we're at the forefront of it. But you've been an educator for over a decade and now you're pioneering with some amazing other owners this new concept of what I think education in a school needs to be. But let's maybe rewind a little bit. Let's catch everybody up on just your background a little bit.
So, hello everyone. Good evening and namaste from India. My name is Greshma Momaya and born and brought up in the land of dreams, Mumbai. I kind of studied there. I did my bachelor's in human and child development, did my post-graduation diploma in counseling, and then like my dad kind of sown the seed in my mind that he was not okay with me working in corporate, but he said, if you want to be a teacher, I don't have a problem. Okay.
That's
So
awesome.
I thank Dad for that. He at least kind of insisted that I go in the teaching field. Maybe he could see something that I couldn't see in myself. So I started working as a teacher in schools in Mumbai. Then I came to Bangalore, and Bangalore was the degree turn into my career, where I of course started as a teacher here. But an amazing school named Trio World School gave me an opportunity to be a leader, to lead their earlier section. And I was the leader with them for close to 8.5 years, setting up the school, the curriculum, the learning environments, and all of that. And I think it was more learning on the job, on this constant quest of, okay, what can we do different in our school? How can we make it different? How do I ensure that children come to school happy and they look forward to come to school? So
Right.
so in that constant quest of ensuring that my only goal was that children should come happy to school. Rest, everything falls in place. I was constantly exploring different pedagogies, different strategies, attending so many conferences. I did the leadership course from Harvard. And because if I am looking forward to going to my work to school, my teachers will look forward to go to school, and eventually children will look forward to go to school. So that's been
Right.
my journey. Yeah. And then 2000s, I got into the journey of training teachers because I didn't want to limit my knowledge sharing only with the teachers that I am working. But I think every child in the world should get benefited from what you're doing. So I thought, okay, let me expand my horizons, and I started training with different schools and organizations. And I think so far my number of teachers have existed, kind of gone beyond 2000 teachers.
That's amazing. Can you
Yeah.
imagine the ripple effect of those impacts, right?
Yes.
But why? So I've met a lot of teachers, and teachers I put in the same category as like doctors and firefighters and people that like you can do the job or you can really own the job. And you could have just become a teacher, teach some kids, go home, have your evenings and weekends. Where is this extra coming from?
I think reading of books and listening to some inspiring people. I was reading a book by Robin Sharma, and he says, you always give 10x, right? And I said, and for us, we are lucky that our clients are children, right? So with children, you give 10x, you get in return. They give you
I
so
love that.
much, yeah, they give you so much love in return. So I think that came from my conversations with children. It came from my interactions with children, just being around with children and just ensuring that their innocence or the curiosity of learning should not be kind of vanished. So
Yes.
I was constantly thriving for that. So I think that pushes me. Why are we
Love
talking to children this way? What is that other? Can we talk to children in a better way? Constantly thinking to ensure that, okay, children are feeling comfortable, valued, and belonged to the school that they are
I
coming in.
love
And yeah,
I
and then
love that.
now of course I'm the principal of a much bigger campus, and I'm like the Kate principal of Prarthana. So now it's
Yes.
not just the early
I want to
years.
talk about Pratana. But
Yes.
before we go to Pratana,
Huh.
what are some of the guiding principles when you were developing this new idea, and how is it reflected in where the world is going? Like, in your opinion, because we talk to parents a lot about their opinion of the school system, right? What's missing, why they're choosing to go on a homeschooling path. You know, a lot of their concerns come down to sort of more attention to their kids, getting more personalized, and then understanding that neurodivergency is not just for a limited number of kids. Every child has some of it. So that's a lot of the reasons that parents are doing it. From your perspective on the other side, what's not working in the school system? What's inspiring this new concept?
So again, the new concept that we got into Prarthana World School, the potential to change is always within. That's our line. And I think, of course, this was the owner's vision. But, keeping that vision in mind, when we started working on the curriculum, the co-founders, Mr. Karna Belagere and Mrs. Lakshmi Belagere, three of us and me came from a very similar kind of thought process. And I think I come from a background where kind of there were certain things in my childhood which, when I was reflecting on my journey, especially during the COVID times when you were locked up, is when you were kind of reflecting on your life. And I realized that a lot of these things where I kind of really didn't enjoy my childhood was majorly because of the way things were communicated to us. Right. And
Yes.
it's communication between the adult and the child. Like now, when I'm reflecting now, even as a parent, I'm not a parent, but when I see parents, from the time the child wakes up in the morning, get up, do the brush, go to the washroom, have your breakfast, go to school, right? Then the child goes to school, the other adult in the school, the teacher is giving instructions. And then the child comes home, the parent is giving the instruction. So I realized that we are actually not having any conversation with children, but it's more about only giving instructions to children. And imagine as an adult, if even to you and me, if someone is giving an instruction right from the morning till I go to bed, how would you feel?
I was on that.
Imagine our children going through that every day. And that made me, that's how our childhood, I'm not blaming anyone, not my family members or the teachers. I was blessed to have good family, but that is what they knew, right? That's how they knew parenting is all about. But now we have to break it, right? So that is something that is guiding me now. That, okay, how do we make children think for themselves? Why do I need to get up and go to school? Why? Okay, so focusing on the why. And whatever practices helped me heal from the childhood challenges that I went through, which was my reflection, the meditation, my habit of journaling. All of this, I realized that it was a skill to learn now, after I started working and all of that. Just imagine if these skills were taught to children, or when I would have been taught in my childhood, I would have been a different person today. And
I love it. I love it.
And when we were discussing, when we were working on the principles of Prarthana World School, I realized that the co-founders are also someone who are reflective practitioners, and they are into reading and meditation and journaling. And then it's like, if three of us believe in something, why don't we put that in our school? Because it's not that you will be forcibly doing it, right? It's the way you live your life. So you can be and it could be the most authentic being, because if children are constantly seeing you being a reflective practitioner, if the children are seeing you doing meditation or doing reading, they will automatically do it. I don't have to even force them to do it. And
I had a mentor tell me when I was becoming a new dad, I had a little baby girl, and I'm like, I don't know how to be a dad. I don't know what to do. And he was like, listen, 90% of what she's going to learn is from watching you more than anything else. So if you focus on your own habits and your own lifestyle and your own actions, that'll be the greatest teaching tool beyond anything you can teach. And I see that more and more in our world of homeschooling, are influencing through just their lives and the people they surround themselves with. And to your point, which starkly contrasts the instructor-led version where you're not learning anything from watching, you're just behaving to a set of instructions.
Yes.
Right? So take me to your school. For North Americans that can't imagine what it's like, in an Indian school, let alone in a new concept Great. Do you have a sense of what would be the day of a child look like in your world?
So when, of course, the child comes to us in the morning, of course, they are greeted by the principal, by the teachers, because this was and whatever I'm telling you, this is not something new for me as a leader. I've already done it and I've seen the magic happening. So there are certain things that
Wow.
I'm continuing here. So I ensure that right in the morning, I'm out there greeting children, greeting parents, just to make them feel that I am there for them. I am approachable. I am available for them. Just to have those small talks, they don't have to take appointments. Just to know each
Yeah,
other. They don't have to take appointments or knock at the door because I'll be there available for you. I think that's the first also step of building that trust and relationship with parents. And I have always observed that once parent starts trusting and building relationship with the school, automatically that separation anxiety in children reduces.
absolutely.
Yeah, so this is something, an effort that a principal, a leader also has to take it. You cannot say that I am the principal, I'll be sitting in my room. No, that's not the way we work. We are working with little humans. So connection is the most important, right? So greeting the children when they come with a smile. And I think unofficial check-ins, like if you see a child not smiling, hey, how are you feeling? Do you want to talk? Just checking on them so that by the time they reach their classroom, they've already kind of shared what is going in their mind, right? So
Mm,
once they reach,
right.
once they reach classroom, again, they settle in. So every day, 10 minutes is given for children to settle in. Like when we go to our work, we want to keep our laptop bag, be at our desk, just settle in, right? But again,
Yes.
this transition time to children, how selfish we are.
Yeah.
So I want to give
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
transition time to children so they settle in. They just have informal conversation with their friends, with their teachers. Maybe even if child doesn't want to do a conversation, they can pick up a book or pick up a puzzle that will be there. And then starts setting the agenda of the day.
That's amazing.
Setting the agenda of the day is like, what are we going to do first? So it's like, okay, we listen to everyone. You want to do English, you want to do math, you want to do EVS, what you want to do? Okay, what happens later? So of course, certain periods where or schedule where these common instructors would come in, like a physical education. Those periods are kind of fixed, and we tell children that, for example, 10 to 10, we have so and so person coming and doing a physical education with you. But apart from that, what do we do? So then they set the agenda of the day. So like how
Wow.
we make our to-do list for the day, right? So we are inculcating those things
Great.
in children because it's a skill that all of us should have. Like, we should know how our day is going to look like. So children will, whatever they are deciding, they will write it in their books, and then the teacher starts with the class. Now, after every class, every subject is over, like 45-minute block or period, last 5 minutes is given to closure and reflection. So
Mm,
yes, correct. So what did I learn today? What I did not understand today, or what I want to know more about this topic. So it gives an idea even to the teacher how many children have understood, how many have not understood. So again, we are intentionally and knowingly inculcating the habit of reflection, right?
yes.
And at the end of the day, again, the last 5 minutes is like, okay, what made me happy today, right? Just reflecting on what made me smile today, which part of the day I was not happy. So they do a reflection. So we have something called student journal. So these things are in their journal, and they have the space is already made for them to kind of reflect it. Because unless I give them the space and a mandatory thing, as educators, we tend to forget in our journey of finishing the portion or the curriculum. So this is something that, and then our student journal also have habit tracker. So based on the book Atomic Habits, we want to teach children how to break the habit and the old habit and how to build the new habit. So
I love that book.
yeah, it's an amazing book. So it will be a process. It will be like, it will take a whole year maybe for the child to understand and to build, but we are not in a hurry. It's okay if the child has started something and wants to go back or reflect. Okay, change it. We are there for them. So again, teachers will be also trained to help them understand how to build the habit. So Atomic Habit is a must read book for educators joining Prarthana World School.
I love that. Talking about educators, are you finding it's easy to attract educators, or are they still resistant to a new way of approaching their careers?
So I've been interviewing a lot of teachers the last 2 months, I would say, last 3 months. The young teachers who are a little new, I'm not being biased or anything, but that's my observation. The young teachers are more open to these ideas. Because now, thanks to social media, everyone is talking about reflection and gratitude and, affirmations and all of that. So I think they are more aware about these concepts. So they are more open to it. The teachers who are seasoned teachers and who know the real challenges of classroom are a little hesitant. I'll be very honest. I think because they've been there and they know that, okay, certain things, even if you're saying it, you might not be able to implement. So there's already a wall and they have a doubt.
Right.
But I think having this mixed bag of teachers of young energy and the experienced energy is important.
No, I really like that. And I think times are changing where anything that we're uncomfortable with now is our previous bias.
Yes.
Right? Because we imagine today to represent what we did 2 years ago. And it's like, that class is what I remember. On the flip side, as you're building out a new model for education, how does it work with students of various types of learning models? Do you consciously have a model that sort of includes everybody? Or I know in North America, we're quick to label kids neurodivergent. They need IEP, and we push them to the side because they need help,
Right.
and with intentions. But the little person who doesn't know the world just has been told, you are different.
Yeah.
You need extra help. We're going to treat you differently. How are you building an ecosystem for kids of multiple styles of learning?
So that's why we have P4 framework, where it is Prarthana's playful, personalized pedagogy. So when I say personalized, it's about kind of ensuring that our lesson plans are catering to the different types of learners in our classroom. So somewhere this idea also came from multiple intelligence theory by Howard Gardner. I feel, because I've worked with multiple intelligence for so many years, and I feel that it almost acts like a checklist. That, okay, am I catering to verbal linguistic intelligence? So if I'm doing addition, do I have something related to this intelligence? Then you go to logical thinking. Am I having something related to this? Kinesthetic, do I have something related to this? And when you try and cater to all the 8 intelligence in one concept, you are actually catering to the diverse learners in our classroom. So that is one thing that we are doing. Second is we have a separate space called mindfulness and sensorial room. Okay.
I love that.
Yeah, because I feel we have to give a safe space for children to express their emotions. So it's not like sending them to a punishment room. That's why we are creating this room. The ambience is so positive that children will never think that, okay, I did this bad behavior, so I'm being punished and I'm sent to this room. No. Yes, I did something that is not expected in the classroom. Yes. So I have to go calm myself down. So I'll go to that room, calm myself down, and get back to my class. So it is based on the philosophy of logical consequences, right?
Right. I love
it. So which means that if you are unable to kind of be in the group at that point of time, you kind of just step aside, calm yourself down, and then join the group back. Because I don't want children to feel like they are being punished. No, they are not being punished, but we are giving them a space to calm themselves down. So then that room will have them to calm down. So as of
No, what I was thinking about as you were talking is new models need new ways to measure success.
Yes.
Right? Traditional school measures it on registration and signups, and then math scores or language scores are usually what we track. But in your school, what does success look like? How do you measure success?
So when I was being interviewed for this role, of course, now as an educator, when you are so much aware about certain things that are happening in the world, which are not happening in the right way, you know what you don't want to get into also. So
yes.
So I asked my founders, okay, we are a K school. So are you looking at, having that 10 standard result where everyone is getting a rank and we are putting hoardings in the city that, oh, this child is from our school, this child is from our school, he's got so much of percentage. Looking at that, then I am not the right person for it because I don't come from that. I'm not saying you are wrong, but I am not the right person then because I don't.
Right. That's amazing.
Yeah, because if these
So
thoughts do not align, then the conflicts happen.
yeah, the students are not posters and celebrities,
Exactly.
and somebody's gonna be on the other end where they're not recognized.
Yes.
And then this trauma starts to build, right? I love that, man. We're almost at the end of our conversation. For educators in North America, there's a whole industry shift that's happening. Teachers are burnt out, teachers are
Yeah.
quitting, educators are challenged more than ever by parents.
Yes.
But we also know educators by default do 10 different jobs. They're the caregivers of the students, there's the educators, there's the admin assistant. They're doing 8 or 9 jobs at a time, but we want them to be perfect at everything, which is unfair. So from the other side of the pond, from what you're seeing in India, what are some advice that you can share with educators in North America or globally that there's a new model we need to embrace as educators?
Yeah.
And what are some tips?
Yeah, so I think it's the responsibility first of the leader to ensure that teachers are not burnt out. See, I'll tell you very honestly, I am just a leader. I am not a school owner. So the salary part does not come under my jurisdiction. Okay, I'll be very honest. So I know that there is no control over there, but no, I have a control on the kind of environment that I want to build for teachers.
Right.
So that teachers
Yes.
feel happy, teachers are valued, teachers are respected, and teachers are not treated like they are the daycare takers, caretakers.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that is one thing that is under my control. Now, how do I do that? I kind of openly, if it is a teacher's idea, any new concept that we are bringing in, that teacher gets a recognition in front of the whole school and the management because they earn it. Firstly.
Yes.
Secondly, I am the wall between the parents and the teachers. So parents are not, I cannot take that. We are here to listen to you only if you communicate with us with a calm tone, with a respectful tone. Else, I'm sorry, I cannot allow you to talk to my teacher like this. This is a stand. That lead. I've taken it for my teachers and I would still take it for any teacher. And of course, also there are certain things that I always tell my teachers that if it is your child's annual day, sports day, parent teachers meeting, you don't even have to ask for leave. You have to just tell me that today is the PTM, so I won't be able to come into school. You don't have to even think that you have to ask for a leave. Why? Why do anyone have to ask for a leave? You tell me that you're not coming.
Yeah.
Exactly, right?
Your kids are as important as our kids,
And
I love it, man. I love it. If this was in North America, I would send my kids there right away. I can already tell, like my kids, a lot of stuff you talk about, they don't practice mindfulness. They don't know how to think without instructions. Classic, like it's March break. And they're like, what do we do? I'm like, I don't know. You guys go make a list of stuff to do. We don't know what to do. I don't know. Go to Google and think of a few things we can do over the weekend. But what should we do? Because they're not asked to think. They're just told what to do every day. And so boredom happens all the time when there's no adult telling them what to do. And this is such a systematic problem that starts from just the ecosystem of educators not helping them think through versus here's what you do, you go home. And so I love what you're doing. Final words of anybody listening that wants to get to know you, want to be involved in your education ecosystem you're building. How can they reach out to you? Give them some ways to get that.
Sure. You can get in touch with me on LinkedIn, on Instagram. My name is Greshma Momaya. So you will see that when you type it, you'll be able to reach out to me. I conduct a lot of webinars. So if you stay in touch, then, you can attend. And I conduct free webinars for teachers because they are already paid peanuts. How do we upgrade them? Because only if I'm giving them anything free will they be able to attend it. So please, you can join the tribe. You can stay in touch with me on LinkedIn and Instagram. These are the 2 platforms I'm most active on, and I respond to people. You have any questions, queries, how all of this happens, please, we can get on a Zoom call also. I'll be happy to I'm already collaborating with so many educators across the globe, and I would love to have you collaborate also. So thank you so much.
Amazing. And I'm so happy that we were able to get you at the start of something
Yes.
magical. And I can't wait to reconnect in a year and look at what's that first experience is like. When are you officially launching? Is it this year's back to
Yes, so
school?
June is when we start the academic year. So we've already launched
Nice.
the school because the admissions can start. And I'm super excited to see how all of this that is there in our mind and what we believe in transpires into a real life.
Oh, I can't wait to see either. And if everything works out, I need to come and hang out with you in Bangalore and experience this for myself. But this has been such a pleasure. Thank you for sharing what you're doing and inspiring us. And I know everybody that's watching this, including our own team, I'm super pumped and we'll follow along on your journey.
Thank
Thank
you.
you again.
Thank you. It was lovely talking to you. And it was just conversation, heart to heart conversation for me. So I absolutely enjoyed it.
It's
Great.
awesome.